this is Lizzie from thishouseofcards.blogspot.com. Since Valentine's Day is just around the corner, I'm going to share with you this sweet card using Lawn Fawn's Love You Ton stamp set from their recent release. So to make this card, I'll be using these two adorable little elephants, which I just love. They're really cute. And they're coordinating dies and the Stitch Journaling card die set. So I'm starting with a piece of white cardstock cut to 5 1/4 by 4 inches, which will serve as my background panel. I'm using Mr. Huey's ink spray in the color of Mint Julep, and I'm just going to lightly spritz the panel just to give it some subtle color. And then I will set it aside to dry. So now I'm going to make a background for the little elephants, and I went ahead and die cut some craft cardstock with the Stitch Journaling die, and now I'll be using some Picket Fence Distress Paint to give the cardstock a washed out look. And the reason I'm doing this is because I wanted to do some stenciling over the craft cardstock, but I wanted the inks to still be vibrant. I guess this is the same concept as the ghost stamping technique, and I'm sure this would work just fine if you used white pigment ink instead of distress paint. So I just waited a few minutes and made sure the ink was dry, and I made this stencil from a piece of Post-it using the Stitch Journaling card die and then the hearts that come with it. And I'm just going to center it onto my craft cardstock and then paste it down with some Post-its. And then I have a couple colors of ink, some pinks and some oranges and some yellow. And I'm just going to use a little finger dauber and just apply the color randomly. Just until all the little hearts are filled up. And so like I mentioned, I made this stencil out of a Post-it, and I can of course reuse this stencil, but if I wanted something more permanent, I could have used something like acetate, which would be quite durable to use over and over. So by making your own stencils, you can really get a whole lot of new uses from your dies and have some new creative avenues to explore, which is always fun. So after the colors are applied comes the best part, which is peeling off the stencil, and you can see all the little hearts that were underneath, and the colors you can see blended really well, and they're pretty vibrant against the white paint. So next I'll be doing some coloring, and so I'm going to stamp my images with Memento Tuxedo Black ink because that works really well with Copic markers. And then I'll be using 3 colors of gray to color in the elephants. I'll be using N0 as my lightest shade, and then N4 as my darkest shade, which I'll just apply to where the shadows will be. And then I'll use N2, which is my medium shade, to blend out the N4, and then I will go back in with N0 and just blend everything out. And I think critters look even cuter with some blush, so I added some R20 and blended that out with N0. So for this next elephant, I again used the same combination of colors, N0 for an all-over wash, and then N4 where the shadows are. And then I will go in with N2 to blend out the N4. And once that's done, I will go back in with N0 and blend everything out together. And then I also thought it would be cute to add some blush for this elephant. And again did that with R20 and then blended that with N0. And since this was going to be my girl elephant, I thought it would be cute if she had some extra eyelashes. So I just used a Memento black marker and added those. So now I'm using the coordinating dies, and I will just run that through my Big Shot. So I thought it would be cute for the elephant to hold a little heart, and I die cut a heart from pink cardstock using the heart dies from Lawn Fawn, and I wanted it to sparkle a little bit, so I just used my clear glitter pen to apply that color, and then I set it aside. So now for the sentiment, I want it to be curved, so the way I do that is I found the center of the sentiment, which was that O in the U, and then I'm just going to pull that end of the sentiment towards the line and then pull the other one towards the line, and that way I know everything is perfectly centered. And I inked that up in some black ink and stamped it. And so to hold the little heart, I just used some scissors and cut a little notch into the elephant, and that way that little heart can sit right there and it looks just like he's holding it. So now we're finally ready to assemble the card, and I'm just going to apply some foam adhesive on the back of the elephants and put them onto the craft cardstock. And then I can take that spritz background panel that we did earlier and get ready to assemble the rest of the card. And so I'm going to adhere that panel onto a 5 1/4 by 4 1/4 piece of orange cardstock so that I have a small 1/8 of an inch border, just so that you can see a little pink of orange around the edges, just for a little bit of extra color. And now I have some pink lemonade lawn trimmings, and I'm just going to just tape it onto the back and make sure that's in the right position. And I think I wanted it to be just a little bit higher, so I just repositioned that tape, which was real easy to do, and then wrapped the cord a couple times around, just until you know, I thought the placement was correct. And so I guess I was being a little finicky with it. But finally I guess I found the right placement, and I taped the other end of the twine to the back of the cardstock. So now I'm just getting an idea of where the craft cardstock will be placed so that I have an idea of how large to make a bow from the same twine. I love adding a separate bow on top of twine that I wrapped around a card, because it looks as though you've secured the twine together with a bow when in reality it's taped to the back. So this is definitely a lot easier. But before I adhere that bow, I wanted to pop the craft cardstock up on some foam tape, just so that it is raised above the twine. And then I can go ahead and use a little bit of liquid glue and place the dot on the twine and glue the bow down. So to make my card base, I have a piece of pink cardstock cut to 5 1/4 by 8 1/2, which is scored at the 4 1/4 mark to make a 5 1/4 by 4 1/4 inch card, which is just a tad smaller than a standard size A2 card. Now to finish up, I mounted the cardstock panel on some foam tape and adhered it to the card base for a little bit of extra dimension, and then trimmed off the excess twine from the bow. And there you have it, a sweet Valentine's Day card using some fun techniques and some great products from Lawn Fawn. Thanks so much for watching. You can see more of my cards at thishouseofcards.blogspot.com.